Good morning, everybody. How are you today? I hope you're all enjoying our abundance program that we're running at Gathering of Light. And we are on day 16 of our John Randolph Price's Abundance and Prosperity program. The affirmation for this morning is one of my favorites, and it's why I'm making this video. The affirmation is, my inner supply instantly and constantly takes on form and experience according to my needs and desires. And as the principle of supply in action, it is impossible for me to have any needs or unfulfilled desires. I love this affirmation because it really helps me to stretch. I mean, basically, it's saying that as long as I'm in this flow of love, as long as I have my heart open, as long as I am connected with the divine, I can't have any of my needs or desires that are not fulfilled. That's a stretch for me. Why? Because at the earliest of ages, I discovered that that wasn't the case. A really strong, profound example of that for me was my relationship with my grandfather. When I was young, I lived with my grandfather. He was one of my best friends. We shared my bedroom together. And when I was about 4.5 years old, he was sent to the hospital. And originally I was told that he'd only be there for a couple weeks and he'd be coming home. He ended up living in Elmhurst General Hospital until I was 14 years old, paralyzed on both sides of his body, having had both legs amputated, having to be totally cared for by other people. And the only time I would even get to see him would be when I would get snuck up on holidays. And when I would see him, I'd see all of the pain and the suffering in his eyes and the incredible sadness that was there. And it broke my heart to see him that way. Now you can rest assured, because I loved him so much, every single day I would be praying for him. And every single wish that I had, whether it was on my birthday cake or on a shooting star, or whether it was, having one of those dream catchers that I'd find, I'd wish and I would pray for him to come home. And he never did. And that affected me profoundly. And it affected this belief of, like, can I even really have the things that I most want in life? And so when I hear this affirmation today, it really stretches me. Fortunately for me, I have been really blessed to have spent my life doing my own healing work, in which I have learned to meet that part of me and to be there to take care of that part of me and to love that part of me and to help that part of me to realize that all of what was going on with my grandfather was really totally out of my control. The only control that I could have was my willingness to have my heart be open and to love him. And I believe that that somehow made a difference for my grandfather. I'm hoping and believing that he could feel that and he was touched by that love. And somehow that made what he had to go through a little bit easier for him. And with the work that I've done in my life, I have learned that the belief that God wasn't there in that situation just wasn't true. And somehow God was there helping me, helping my grandfather, helping my mother and my father deal and cope with that whole situation that was difficult. And somehow we all made it through and it was all okay. And there was something in that that was important for all of us. That even these things that are the most difficult things in our life, to deal with, God is there, and God is working through even those most difficult times. So I embrace today's affirmation. In spite of all of the ways that I've been hurt and disappointed, I'm there to take care of those wounded parts of me and to remind them that as long as God is with me, as long as I am one with God, my life can be wonderful, which it is today. I am so blessed. I am so abundant. I love more than anything in the world being able to be the channel for God's love and healing that I've been called to be. And that situation with my grandfather profoundly set all of that up into motion. So today, I surrender to the things that I don't have any power and control over. And I believe that God, who loves me so much, is there for me. And there's all of these blessings and abundance that he wants to continue to bestow on me. And I open myself to all of that. And those wounded parts that, because they were so hurt and disappointed, developed a nourishment barrier, and for a certain period of time wanted to just be angry and resentful in life and have my heart shut down, I'm there to take care of them, because I know that having those parts of me drive my bus is not in my highest good, and it is not the best way that I can take care of myself. So I ask you to join me in this process of healing and growing and evolving and opening our hearts more and more every day to this oneness, to all of the blessings and all the abundance that are there. I hope these affirmations are challenging you as much as they do me, and that they lead to your growth and expansion and embracing more of the abundance and prosperity that's truly there for you. Love you all. Many continued blessings and much abundance.